So this next section is purely going to be about circles. So the equation of the circle really just comes from using the distance formula. You've got a center, HK, and every point that lies on the circle is a fixed distance from the center. So this fixed distance is called our radius. So kind of just graphically what that means is you have a center and you have a fixed distance. If you look at the distance from the center to any other point on the circle, it is going to be r. So if we call this point just xy using the distance formula, the distance is going to be the square root in the difference in x's squared plus the difference in y squared. So the distance squared is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared. But this distance is exactly what we're calling the radius. So this is our standard form for a circle centered at HK with radius r. So let's look at a simple example. Let's write the equation of the circle in standard form, given that the center is -4, 1, and the radius is going to be 5. So we take x, subtract the x coordinate of the center, add to it y minus the y coordinate of the center, and that needs to equal the radius squared. So we get x plus 4 squared plus y minus 1 squared equals 25. So that is the standard form for this particular circle. Now let's go ahead and graph one. So we've got the standard form already. I just need to figure out what's the center and what's the radius. So to do that, I don't need to worry about this, but I need y minus the y coordinate of the center. And then our radius squared is on the other side, so 9 is 3 squared. So now I can immediately pick off the center is going to be 2, -7. And the radius is going to be 3. So we go ahead and graph our x and y coordinate. We'll make each of these 1. And that goes out to 10. So we're going to plot that center, which is at 2, -7, which is going to be right here. And then I'm going to need to go 1, 2 in this direction. Now from this center, I'm going to go a distance of 3. So I'll go up 1, 2, 3, and that point's going to be on my circle. I'll go left 1, 2, 3. That's on my circle. Down 3 and right 3. And then we just connect our dots, and here is the circle x minus 2 squared plus y plus 7 squared equals 9. So now if we want to find the equation of the circle centered at 4, 9 passing through a particular point, we don't know the radius of the circle, but we do know the center and a point it goes through. So the distance between them is just our radius. So we want to take the square root in the difference in x's squared plus the difference in y squared. So the radius will be the square root of 2 squared plus 4 squared. So the radius will be root 20. So now I can put this into our standard form. You get x minus the x coordinate of the center, which is 4 squared, plus y minus the y coordinate of the center, which is 9 squared, the radius squared. So we get 20. So finally, now we're given a equation of a circle, but it's not in standard form, and we want to find the center and the radius of the circle. So what we need to do is put this in appropriate standard form by going ahead and completing the square on the x and y terms. So the first thing we want to do is group the x terms, y terms, and move all the constants to the other side. So I've got my x's together, my y's together, and then I'm moving the 32 to the other. Now I'm going to go ahead and complete the square on the x and complete the square on the y. So for the x, we need to go ahead and add negative 4 over 2 squared. On the y, we need to add negative 16 over 2 squared. So really, negative 4 over 2 is negative 2. Squared gives you 4, so you're really adding 4 to the left. 16 over 2 is 8. Squared is 64, so you're really adding 64. So what I've added to the left, I now have to add to the right. So now we go ahead and just factor. So the left factors, or the left simplifies to x squared minus 4x plus 4. The right, we added 64. And then on the right-hand side of the equation, we have 36. So each of these are perfect squareds. And so now we can pick off our center as 2, 8, and our radius is equal to 6.